Did your money come up short because your spouse owes a debt? Then I have a solution that could help you recover that offset. Hello and welcome to you. I'm the budget boss, and today we are covering a very important topic about injured spouses. What exactly is an injured spouse? Make sure that you watch until the end so that you get all the important details of how you need to file this paperwork if you have found yourself in an injured spouse situation. So let's dive right in. An injured spouse. Topic number 203, reduce refund. So the Department of Treasury has a Bureau of Fiscal Service, called the BFS, which issues IRS tax refunds, and then the Congress authorizes the BFS to actually have this Treasury offset program. They call it TOP, right? TOP. So through this TOP program, they are able to reduce or completely take your refund if you owe past due child support, federal agency non-tax debts, any of those state income tax liabilities, or certain unemployment compensations or debts that may be owed to a state. When would you be entitled to actually getting this injured spouse allocation? So if you filed a joint return and you're not responsible for the debt that is subject to the offset, you will be entitled to file the injured spouse allocation. You may file this form and claim that amount that is considered your portion of the refund, that the IRS actually give you your portion of the refund, and they will actually keep the offset that would be attributed to your spouse's portion of the refund. You may file the Form 8379 in the following different ways: with your original tax return, your 1040, with your amended tax return, which would be the 1040X, if you're claiming a joint refund, or by itself after you actually receive the notification of the actual offset. When you're filing the Form 8379 by mail, either with your joint return or with an amended return, you want to make sure that you write injured spouse in the top left corner of the first page of the joint return. This is if you're actually filing it with the actual return that you're going to be doing your regular taxes with. Continuing on, the IRS can actually process the 8379 before they do the offset, so you can actually get ahead of it by filing the form with your original return, which may take about 11 weeks if you do it electronically, or could take up to like 14 weeks if you do it by mail. And if you file the actual Form 8379 after you filed your taxes, it'll take it about 8 extra weeks for them to process your return and actually process whatever adjustment they will make for that offset. And now moving on to when you actually file this Form 8379, what's some things you should keep in mind when you file in the form? Make sure that you show both spouses tax identification number in the same exact order as you did on your joint return. Be sure that the injured spouse actually signs the form as well. And then make sure that you attach those W-2s or the W-2G, which is for gambling, for both spouses, in any of your 1099s, whether you have a 1099 NEC or just a 1099 with miscellaneous income that shows federal income tax withholdings. Make sure that you attach those with the form to help to avoid delays with them processing your form. Do not attach the previously filed joint return if you have already filed your taxes. Do not send that form in again, because it could cause a delay because they'll think that they need to reprocess taxes again. So we don't want to cause any confusion when sending in this form. Also, when you send it in, if you send it in by mail, make sure that you send it to the service center where you filed your original return and allow at least 8 weeks for them to process it. And the way that you would know where your service center would be is when you go on the IRS website and you see they have like addresses of, if you live in this state, or that state, this is where you will send your tax return. So it will be that same address that they have for where you will send your regular tax return. IRS will then compute the injured spouse's share of the joint refund. And if you want to see ahead of time if a debt would cause you to actually have an offset, then you can actually contact Bureau of Fiscal Service at this phone number. It's a 1-800-304-3107 at the bottom of the screen. And actually, you can call them if you want to know ahead of time and actually speak to someone to see if you have a debt that would be potentially offset by your tax refund. All right, that is all I have for the injured spouse allocation form. It could be a tough situation to be in, but we have that solution to get them to correct that offset and to get those funds back in your hands. I hope this information was helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and join our community of money masters and budget bosses, and say it with me now. I'm a budget boss. I'm a budget boss. I see you later.